Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Ray, for having me. And I want to also take a moment to introduce myself. My name is John Williamson. I'm the CEO and founder at Qualview. For those of you that aren't familiar with Qualview, we're an online platform solutions provider for online qualitative research. And really what is at the core of our DNA and our unique approach is video. And as we have watched the world evolve with regards to technology, from the PC to webcams to mobile and flip cams, and ultimately, as we know now, to mobile phones and the video-enabled component of those mobile phones, Qualview's platform has evolved to accommodate that. Today, we do over 100 projects per month, online qualitative research. An interesting statistic, and I guess the point of my discussion today, is that we are seeing a rather significant increase in the number of projects that are using smartphones or mobile technology. And we're going to talk a little bit about why we believe that's happening and what that means to you all as researchers. So today's webinar has been titled, The Proposition is Driving Mobile Research to Its Tipping Point. And with that, we'll get started. So today I think that probably one of the key components of the presentations, certainly, and I won't spend a lot of time on mine, is the fact that there's certainly this mobile proliferation. I mean, there are huge studies out there. You can pretty much Google this statistic. You can find any number of reference points. But the bottom line is that the consumers are becoming quickly mobile-enabled. For decades, we have invited consumers into artificial environments, places where we could, on our time, on our terms, ask them about their feelings or perhaps their reactions to events gone by, or perhaps show them something and get the reaction. The real challenge, I think, has been that we are using recall. We're really putting them in artificial scenarios. And from our perspective and for the purposes of today's presentation, what this is really about is putting consumers in control. And probably more to the point, giving them the control to let us see their lives at key moments when they're most important to us in the context of research. We can really now, for the first time, because of these smartphones that are in the pockets and hands of millions, almost 100 million consumers globally, we now can be there without being there. And that really poses a huge opportunity for us as qualitative researchers to be able to capture that video. So, sure, there are lots of obstacles that stand in the way. These are new digital solutions, certainly. There are some of us who got an early start on it. And having said that, we are also completely open to the fact that there's a lot of folks out here today on this webinar that probably are quite skeptical. Is there really an opportunity through these mobile phones? And why is it that we at Qualview believe that 2012 will be the tipping point? This will be the year when there's rapid adoption of this particular technology. So that's what today's webinar is about. But one of the things that I'll stop here to mention is that we all agree that this is the most personal and flexible technology ever. I mean, as we've mentioned, we like to call it the focus group in the pockets of 100 million consumers. But realistically, the opportunities to engage them in multimedia ways, whether they be voice, whether they be text or blogging, whether they be through images that they take from their camera phone, and for our purposes, the video that they take, showing us their lives, taking us shopping, showing us something in their home, telling us something very private as a distinct moment is happening, as an impression is happening. This is really what it's about. This is a tremendous amount of technology, but also from research perspective, a tremendous amount of real-life consumer moments that are at our fingertips through this digital technology. What we're really after, too, is the holy grail of qualitative research. This is about the truth. Real moments in real consumers' lives where there's virtually no recall. They're actually living it, thinking it, feeling it, imagining it right there in front of us. This is a research technology that takes us anywhere, anytime, completely untethered to the traditional boundaries of qualitative research. And when you think about the promise of capturing these moments, going into these consumers' lives, what you realize is that you're seeing research in a new way for the first time. And this is what we believe is really exciting about smartphone video-based qualitative research, is that you're seeing these consumer moments when you would never have the opportunity to witness them before. As you see up here on the screen, some examples are, while a man or a woman is actually going through some normal personal hygiene process or routine, or in the case of automotive manufacturing research, people driving around in their cars while the camera's on, using their smartphone to record key moments or pointing it at their tablet, taking with them shopping. We've done a lot of work even recently in farming environments where we can actually watch farmers utilizing the equipment that they use every day. This is really about getting to those very natural moments. And this is, importantly from the standpoint of a qualitative research value proposition, it's about empowerment. It's about using these apps that are available for download for free. And in this particular case, we've created this app specifically designed for qualitative research, and using those apps as portal to the consumer. And what you're able to essentially leverage beyond that, beyond just simply the collection, because frankly, collection is just that's the easy part. Point the phone at a particular subject or answer a particular video question. The collection is the easy part. What really is powerful is when you can combine that video with purpose-built qualitative analytics. Not just simply viewing video for the sake of viewing video, but sorting it, organizing it, coding it, searching it, and really enabling a whole new level of qualitative research, being able to leverage the scale and the reach, the power and the granularity and the flexibility of smartphone video technology, but coupling it with cutting-edge tools that allow you to do your research more efficiently and more accurately than ever before. The key component, too, is you can combine this smartphone video with turnkey execution. I want to emphasize this, is that you've got the opportunity as researchers to really understand the consumer in new, meaningful ways with smartphone video. But when you also combine it with a platform that's designed for research, you can literally take all facets of the qualitative research workflow, from the definition process. It can be global, it can be controlled, you can preserve all that data in a portal, to recruiting. You can do it online. You can use geolocation. You can actually use the very smartphones that will be leveraged for the research and the recruiting process. Really gives you access to a whole new number of potential consumers, non-participants in the research community, because you can go into any zip code, any corner of the world, any country. Collection, we've already talked about that, using the smartphone to gain video, richness, and true candor, people's lives and times and settings that we've never seen before, very visceral, candid feedback, very voyeuristic. To analysis, we talked about the integrated platform where you can do analysis, you can do complex data analytics on this digital video data, to the insights themselves, taking that accuracy, but putting them into an online context where they can be viewed in conjunction with the video highlight reels. What we call this is turning the key dials to 11 across the board, across the assembly line, the key dials to 11. But you probably are, if not asking yourself already, you're probably saying, okay, is this really the tipping point? Is it just about getting it online? Is it just about taking all these key dials to 11? I mean, haven't you had these tools already? And what is really signaling this breakthrough? And that's where we come down to all the dials except one. And this is the purpose of my webinar today, is to tell you about what we've learned about that one missing piece that's vital to the adoption, not only of mobile qualitative research, but I'll even go so far as to say is that this particular webinar can extend to any type of online research. That key component that we're missing is simply the background. Now, you may say that that's, I get it, that's a traditional component of qualitative research. Yeah, we can't get perhaps a true backroom experience in an online setting. But I'll venture to say that this is the crucial component of truly great qualitative research. As a matter of fact, it's this backroom where we believe the most important component of online research, period, really takes, and that is the collaboration and data immersion phase. For anybody out there that's been to a focus group, spent some of their time in focus groups, or even attended one, use your memory, go back to that time and think about the moment you were sitting behind that glass and the people first entered the room. I mean, it was really, truly, at that moment, you're getting, and when I say a window, there was a window to that consumer, what they wore, how they walked, what they looked like, what their age was. And then once they started talking, in an amazing, moment as you were able to understand for the first time what they sounded like, how they phrased things, and the reaction to different concepts, it's really a pretty magical moment. And it's really what makes qualitative research great. However, the question becomes, how do you replicate that in an online setting? And I'll venture to say is not only how do you, it's you must. You must replicate that collaboration in an online setting. Too many times we're, as online qualitative or any type of researchers, we're accused of being dispassionate or somehow disconnected. There's this digital divide between us and the consumer. And what's crucial is that you're missing the key piece. If you consider that to be the reality of online qualitative research, you're fundamentally ignoring the most valuable person in the room. The person who is the most valuable person that needs to be included in this collaborative process is the client themselves. This is really where we believe combining all of the elements where you can take that dial to 11, from definition to collection to the data analytics to the reporting, the integration of the client into this process is the tipping point. This is the back room of online qualitative research. We believe that this is something that will be delivered in an asynchronous, extremely powerful way that leverages technology and software in new ways that allows the client's viewpoint to come through. So let's face it, consumers empowered via mobile get moments of truth, you get access to their lives, you get to touch and, virtually touch and see them, but really we forget it's the client's decisions that we're helping to make. The mobile data is digital, hence it's very accessible, but the smartest person is just there because they're interacting with a level of richness and insights that we can't replicate. How do we as researchers take this online digital medium and create an environment where clients can log in and just sheerly by observing and interacting with the data, we can replicate the best possible report that the project demands. And this is really from what I'll call the virtual backroom experience. It's about engaging the client via that online platform, watching the smartphone video data come in, and thereby rendering it significantly more valuable than anything that's ever been done in online quality. I believe that that's really what we're talking about today. You add this last missing piece, the client, to the exchange of information, and we believe that you have a tipping point whereby all dials across the qualitative research process are essentially turned to 11. What I'll end on today is a quote, and I know we're all fond of quotes, facetiously speaking, but still, I think this is one that I want to utilize for some key reasons. And this is from New Roles for Marketing Researchers. It's an S. Chadwick and I. Lewis article that was published in the Leading Edge Marketing Research. And I want to read it out loud once, and then I'm going to focus on a couple of components. The future role of market researchers requires a shift in how they define their purpose, in what they provide their clients, in how they define value, in how they work, and in their ability to influence people. As we've talked about today, a shift in how they define their purpose. Online, mobile-based qualitative research enables an innovative, much more engaged access paradigm. We can go into the lives of any consumer anywhere in the world with the power of video and see things that we've not been able to see before. Mobile research is that promise. It allows us to align ourselves with that shift. It allows us to redefine our purpose, to get our clients closer to their consumers, closer to their customers than they ever thought before possible. Furthermore, I'm going to take another part of that quote. Also, it demands a shift in how they define value, in how they work, and in their ability to influence people. The value proposition for online qualitative research, particularly as we use smartphones, being able to render virtually any participant anywhere in the globe available for our qualitative inquiries, the ability to do these in a context where there is no travel, where there's no complex logistics, where literally hundreds of shareholders can participate in research, that's distinct value. In how they work and in their ability to influence people, this is really where that champion, the client, comes to bear. If we can invite our client into this process, if we can get them engaged in the research, if we can present them this online smartphone-generated video in a way that through their interaction, they can influence the report. They can influence not only the report, but also their stakeholders and the decisions that need to be made within the organization. We've simply arrived at a tipping point in online qualitative research, particularly as it relates to the utilization of online mobile video. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions. And if there are any questions, I assume that they're going to be coming via the interface, but I'll stop here, and I want to say before I go into that, I want to really appreciate everybody for sitting out in the session today. I hope it was valuable, and I look forward to hearing from you.